Hello, welcome back to another episode of Literary Ladies. I just imagined a really cool, like, bum, bum, bum intro right there, you know? We need to get a song. We really do.
We'll get one day.
Okay.
One day, you guys are gonna start listening and you're gonna be like, "What's this?" And it's gonna be an intro.
An intro. Well, I'm Melanie,
And I'm KP.
and we are the self proclaimed literary ladies. Here we are. We do book reviews, sometimes weekly, sometimes not, but we'll always put one out eventually. This week we did a book called The Other Woman by Sandie Jones. A little synopsis about this book. Who's he? Anyways, this girl named Emily meets this guy named Adam at a bar, and they get into this relationship, and she goes and meets his family, and his mom is this like seemingly like over jealous woman who doesn't want anyone to be with her son because she wants all the attention on her, and it just kind of goes through their relationship and Emily having to deal with that, and there's lots of twists and turns. It was a phenomenal book, so no spoilers about the rating, but highly recommend.
Yeah.
um so as always, we're going to do like a question and answer format. KP wrote some questions for us to do. There are definitely lots of spoilers ahead. So if you haven't read the book, go read it and then come back and listen to us. And yeah, we'll let you know what our next book is at the end of the pod. So stay tuned for that.
Woo!
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here's your first question, KP. At the beginning of the book, Emily meets Adam at a bar during a conference. Do you think their relationship progressed quickly from that point? Why or why not?
So when she first met him, I was like, this guy is such a dick. Because he like cut her in line at the bar. And then, like, not only did he order his drink, he went and ordered like the drinks of everyone that he was with. And I was trying to picture if it was me at a bar and a guy cut me, and then he's like, "Oh, and can I get like 6 vodka cranberries and like 2 shots of tequila?" I'd be like, "What the hell?" Like, I'd be like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, at first I was like, "Yeah, this guy seems like a dick." Um, but she liked him because, we're attracted to toxic men. Look at us go. And look at us go. And I thought that she met his mom like way sooner than he met her parents. It seemed like she met his mom right away and then he met her parents like a few months into the relationship, but
Mhm.
I could be making that up. I don't know.
Yeah, and it almost could have been where his mom, because of how things ended up turning out, maybe she even pushed for them to meet sooner rather than later. Um, but I mean, they at the beginning of the book, it was kind of cute too. Like, yeah, he was a dick and like did that, but also they were like pretended to be like secret agents or something. So I think that when she saw that like goofy side of him, I think that's how she really decided, like, oh, he's cute or whatever,
Yeah.
and how they started dating. But yeah, I think they just went into meeting each other's families and like being engaged super quickly. It's weird though because Adam kept like saying how quick things were moving. He's like, we've only been together for this long, or we've only been together for 2 months, but it felt like to me he was the one that kept pushing the relationship to move quicker. So that was kind of weird. Especially with him like wanting to meet Seb right away, which was like her best friend, and which I guess could be normal, like meeting the friends sooner,
Mhm.
obviously, than the family, but then having her meet his mom and stuff, yeah, that just seemed like it came up really quickly in their relationship because they got engaged, what, after like 6 months?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like really soon. And I think the motives were bad with him wanting to meet Seb because he's like, "Oh, you have a male best friend? Like, I need to go meet him." And she's like, "Yeah, but he's gay." And he's like, "Oh, I don't care. Like, I need to meet him." Which, like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Right, 100%. Like towards the end of the book when she like pushes Seb out of her life and he doesn't get to come to the like dress when she's trying on her wedding dress and stuff, you're just like, oh, this is not good. I don't appreciate this at all.
Yeah, that like broke my heart when she decided that it was more worth it to not have Seb there than to have Seb there. And then when later on in the book, he's like, yeah, I heard you at the pool. Like, I heard you talking about me not being invited. And it's like, oh, like, that's so sad. Cause I can just picture someone like sitting there, like overhearing it and being like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, and it's so funny because not to get too personal, but I had that exact same, not me, but one of my friends in high school, that exact same thing happened to them where their boyfriend wouldn't let them be friends with like any other guy. And so she had to stop being friends with one of her best guy friends who later in life we found out was gay. But like, no, that's just like red flag number one. Like, if you're not allowed to be friends with your current friends, like, you just met this person that you're in a relationship with, like, after your friends. So your friends should take priority, in my opinion.
yeah. I've also known people who have dated someone where the guy doesn't want them to be friends with other guys or doesn't want them to go out at night without them with their friends because they
Like,
and it all comes down to trust. You don't trust your partner if you're not going to let them go out at night with their friends.
right. It's like, oh, wow, how did I survive like these past 20 years of my life going by myself places? It's amazing.
So funny. You did it. You just
I didn't. I just sat at home like all the time waiting for this person to come along and let me go out at night, only with them, though.
so blessed.
Yes.
All right, next question. The first few red flags of Adam's mother, Pammy, were the Christmas dinner and the confusion of Emily sleeping over. What did you think about this? Did you think it was just a miscommunication between the two of them?
Okay, no, I like immediately was like, wow, this woman is a bitch. Like, she's this jealous mom who doesn't want her son to be taken away from her, because there was just like no way that could have been miscommunicated. And even if you're just like a decent human being, like your son or daughter's like significant other comes over, like, you're gonna let them stay. Like, even if it's on the couch or whatever, you're not gonna be like, oh, it would probably be better for you if you were at a hotel, or like even say that they suggested to go to a hotel in the first place. Like, that was just wild to me.
Yeah, I was like my blood was boiling. I was so mad because I like never took Pammy's side. I always like thought Emily's version was correct.
Hmm.
So when she showed up there and Pammy made that like huge meal and even Adam was like not helping. Like he's like my mother worked so hard on this meal, like why aren't you eating it? And this that and the other and it's like you knew that she was eating with her family.
Hmm.
So why would you make a 10-course dinner for her to come and not eat any of it?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, this is what we do for tea. Okay, well, I'm not used to tea being like this huge meal.
Yeah. And for like the sleeping arrangement thing, I just found that so odd because like me, like not even sleeping at like a boyfriend's house, but like a guy friend's house,
Hmm.
being a girl, they'd be like, oh, like you take the bed and I'll sleep on the couch.
Right.
And then, so when Pammy was like, oh, she can sleep on the couch and like you can go sleep in your bed. I was like,
Right.
what? Like, in what world would the woman, and this might be like sexist of me to say, but like in what world like would the guy not offer the bed to the woman?
Right. I feel like even if you had like another guy friend coming over, it could still be the same situation where like politely you'd offer them your bed instead of making them sleep on the couch, just to make them more comfortable. Like, you're always going to have your bed in that house. Like, if they're just coming over, maybe they shouldn't, have to sleep on the couch or whatever. But yeah, like, just like a complete lack of hospitality on the
Mhm.
mom's part. Like, all rules went out the window.
Yeah, and that's like so true because I mean, I live in a one bedroom. I don't have like space for guests, but if someone does sleep over, I sleep out on the couch and they sleep in my bed because that's like how
Oh,
I was raised. Like
yeah,
that's how you like treat a guest coming to stay at your house.
right.
So when Pammy and then Pammy was like, "You can go stay at a hotel." I'm like, "No, like I cannot. This is so bad."
Like, this woman is a wacko.
An ultimate wacko.
Yep. So our next question, we could see early on that Adam had some control issues, especially about what Emily wore or how much time she spent with her gay best friend. What do you think of this? And did you think this was a red flag?
Yeah, we kind of touched on this already. I think he was very controlling. He was very, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, some of the things that he would say to her were so out of line that I was like, are you like okay, Emily? Like, at some point to the book, I'm like, why are you even with him? Like, he's like been really mean to you. He like stays out all night. He doesn't let you see your friends. I'm like, leave, like, go.
Yeah, I just feel like the whole time I should have known that Adam was the one that was crazy. Like the way he fawned all over his mother and would always deflect any questions about himself. He would always just turn it right back around on Emily and start asking her questions about her life. And he never defended her. Like she always said this stuff about his mom. I'm like, I get it, it's your mom, but after so many things, like you have to believe this person you're trying to marry.
Yeah, even before she met Pammy for the first time, I think it was like in the car ride there, she made a comment about his mom, and he was like, don't talk about my mom like that. And he like flipped out. And it's like, I get it, but
Right. It almost is confusing to me because at the end of the book, when we found out that James was the one that actually saw her um, kill the husband or the dad because he was abusive to her, see, to me, that would have been like the reason for Adam to have like gone down into the spiral of like wanting to kill people and stuff. But then finding out that that was his brother James and not him kind of confused me then, because I'm like, well, why is he so like protective over his mom and wants to take her side? Is it only because of them witnessing it as kids? And I don't know. It was that was kind of weird for me.
yeah, when we found out that it was James and not Adam, I was like, okay, that makes sense that Adam just is just like his dad, like abusive, controlling, crazy,
Yeah,
and a psychopath.
that's true. That does make sense.
All right, the next question. James took a liking to Emily and went out of his way multiple times to see her. What did you think of the storyline? Do you think that he was trying to warn her?
Yeah, so I definitely think he was trying to warn her, not because he knew that Adam killed Rachel, right? Her name was Rachel.
Mm,
I think he genuine was it Rachel? Heather? No, Rachel.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, Adam had a girlfriend before that died, and the entire time you're made to think that the mom is the one that killed her because she was asthmatic and that's why she died, and they found the inhaler in the mom's drawer.
Mhm.
But we're not 100% on her name right now, but that's fine. I don't think he knew that Adam killed her. I think he was just, he really liked Emily, and he probably knew that Adam was this cheater and just not good to any woman in the past. So I think that was him like trying to warn her about that. And I'm really sad they didn't end up together at the end because I really wanted them to, but you know, such is life.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that at first it was like innocent. Like, I think that first time that he was in the city, he really just was in the city and he wanted to grab coffee with her. And I didn't think that was weird at all. I thought, okay, this is going to be your future brother in law. You're going to grab a coffee with him, just chat.
Right.
But then when she didn't tell Adam that she had met up with James, I was like, okay, that's really sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's his brother. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal. Like, you going to grab a quick coffee with him.
Right.
So I think like she was scared to tell Adam because she didn't know how he was going to react.
Yeah, it must have been like she also was, because she obviously was attracted to James and was jealous if he was with another girl. So I think that she wanted to hide that too. Like she actually did feel a certain way towards him. And it almost makes me think like, what was she scared of if he were to find that out in the future? Like, was he aggressive with her before he was towards the end of the book. They didn't really say anything about it, but it just makes me wonder.
Yeah. I also wish that James and Emily got together at the end because I think they would have been great together.
I know, so sad. I really loved that they ended up still, it said that she went and saw her like every single day and she got to see the kid, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, throughout the whole book there are multiple events in which Pammy has an incident, air quotes if you can't hear it in my voice. Did you think all of these were fake? What did you think towards the end of the book?
So yeah, I definitely thought they were all fake. I
Mhm.
thought Pammy is a freaking nut job and she's doing stuff at every big event, like the birthday party, the engagement. Well, I guess the engagement and the birthday party were together, but like she was doing stuff at everything.
Mhm.
So I was like, she's freaking nuts. Why is Adam not believing that this is all fake? And then when I think it was when she went to James's wedding and she didn't have hair, I was like, oh shit, she really does have cancer. Like she was not lying about that.
Mhm.
And then I felt like, oh, like Emily probably feels like a really bad person for treating her so poorly.
Right. To me, I feel like she didn't have cancer the first time, but then she did get cancer. Like when she said it came back, I feel like, I mean, I could be totally wrong about that, but just the fact that she did catch her like not going to her chemo or whatever. Like if that was the case, she would have called someone, not just like
Went to the mall.
went to the mall to hang out or whatever. But yeah, I knew like the first cancer thing was fake the whole time. And in the back of my head, I actually wondered about the James thing, like whether or not the mom had made him do that, because if she's crazy, like she wouldn't just act that way towards one of her sons, like it would have been towards both of them, and the sons likely would have just gone with whatever she wanted to do, right? So she could have been like, oh, I want to make sure this girl is right for your brother, like try and tempt her to go away from him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously some things were actually true, like the second cancer when she was like missing all of her hair and stuff, and some she just twisted them into a lie because she told Emily that she had sent James to her, but that actually wasn't true. He had just told her about liking her. But I was really like, holy shit, this woman has a way to get herself like into everything and disrupt everything. And it was actually kind of impressive. Like she, even if she was caught, like she just like was on point with her lies about everything.
Right. Yeah. She was good. All right. Last question. When we find out at the end of the book that the real monster is Adam, not Pammy, how do you feel? What do you feel about Pammy and James saving Emily at the end of the book?
What a plot twist. That was insane. Like at the end of this book, I thought it was going to be Emily getting her like revenge on Pammy and Pammy getting karma for doing all of this, but no, they went and throw in this huge twist. It was fantastic. The entire thing, that was just incredible. I loved this book so much, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, mine is very similar. I love that in the end, Pammy was able to like tell the truth and like say, you know, I was trying to get you to not be with him, even though she could have told her at the beginning, like, hey, I don't think you should be with him. But instead, she did all these elaborate things. But it's like kind of funny that in the end, the villains of the book were the ones that ended up saving her.
Yeah, you're almost like, okay, was she scared that Adam was going to do something to her because he killed his first girlfriend? And was she thinking, oh, if I just went and told this like stranger, like, hey, you probably shouldn't date my son because he's like not a good guy, like the girl's going to be like, oh, he's going to change for me. It's fine. Like she's not expecting this man to be some like psychopath murderer. So I can see why she ended up like doing all of that stuff. And I mean, my God, like that must have put such a toll on her, not only because she's like doing all of these crazy schemes to like try and save this girl's life, but she's having to do it to her own son, which I'm sure just adds on this extra layer of like crap.
Yeah, I think at the end of the book, when she called Emily and she said, "Don't answer the door, like, do not go and get the door," she knew that, like, Adam was gonna do something. It was probably and then when he went towards the baby, I was like, oh my gosh, like, please don't hurt the baby," because he thought the baby was James's. So, it was a mess in
Yeah,
my
it was really nuts. But this book, let's go ahead and go into our rating before we do the casting, because I just want to hear what you would rate this book.
So, I would rate it, I think, my first ever 5 out of 5.
Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah, this book was amazing. KP finished it before me, probably in like 3 days. I read it in 4 days. Like, it flew by. It was so good. Like, I'm sad that it's over. And Sandie Jones has like a ton more books, so I'm really wanting to read some more.
Yeah, I'm also really sad it's over. I told my mom to read it. I told my coworker to read it. I'm telling everyone I know in my life to read it. So,
So we're telling all of you, go read it because it was
yeah,
great.
you won't regret it. Well, I hope by this point you have read it because we just spoiled it all for you. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Otherwise, read it anyway. It's still good. Let's move on to who we would cast as the characters in a movie.
awesome. So, who did you pick for Emily?
I picked Lily Collins.
So, I thought you were going to go with my pick because I picked Lily James.
Oh, that was so funny. It's funny that they have the first. Yeah, they would both be great. They both have a similar like look.
Yeah, Lily Collins is so good though. I like her a lot.
All right, who did you pick for? Should we save Adam for last? I almost want to save him for last.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do James.
So I picked, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so pardon if I butcher it, but Taron Egerton, he was the one who played Elton John in the Elton John movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could totally see it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I saw another picture of him and I was like, oh, yeah, I could totally see that. I picked, you're going to love my pick. You want to know who I picked?
Who did you pick?
I picked Joe Alwyn.
Yay!
Yay. We are Taylor Swift stans here. So tell us everything you know about Taylor and we will tell you some things right back.
Yes. Also, we're thinking about starting a podcast where we do a deep dive into every album Taylor Swift has ever made, her stadium tours, dissecting every song. So if you want to listen to that, like shoot us a little note and be like, yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I
I really want to do it because Taylor is my life.
same.
All good things, all good things. That's all we'd say about it. Okay, so next, let's do Pammy.
So I picked Fiona Shaw. She was in Harry Potter.
Fiona Shaw.
I don't know who she played.
Nice. She played.
Oh, Petunia Dursley.
Yes, she was the aunt.
Yes.
She gets blown up like a big balloon and flies into the air.
I'm like, I feel like she could like act like a mean person because she already has.
Yeah, exactly. You know who I picked? I picked Julianne Moore.
Oh, I like that pick. I feel like she would play like a really good mean, like evil mom.
Right? Yeah. I thought she would be good for that.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. Last one.
So for Adam, I picked Theo James.
Me too. Yeah, I picked him too. I think this is our first like one that we've got the same person on. That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Stop.
Okay, so he has to play Adam because we both picked him.
So that's like who I was picturing throughout like the whole book.
Yeah.
I'm like this like really attractive man who like probably could be an asshole because in Divergent he was like kind of an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great. I love that.
Me too.
We did such a good job. Okay, so that is all for this book, The Other Woman by Sandie Jones. Go read it. It was fantastic. 5 out of 5 across the board. Our next book is going to be The Jet Setters by Amanda Irward. Do you know how to pronounce her like middle name?
Yeah, I was gonna say Irward.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Y-R-E.
Yeah.
If you're trying to look it up. But yeah, so we're going to read that next. Who knows how fast we'll get through that one. Maybe a couple days again if it's real good. It's another one from Reese's Book Club, so it could be another quick read.
Probably. Reese knows how to pick them.
This book that we just read was a Reese's Book Club one, so thank you to Reese Witherspoon for your suggestions.
Yeah. A lot of the books that we pick are from, or at least that I pick, are from Reese's Book Club and the Target Book Club selections. So yeah, I feel like those are like really popular ones.
Good. I'm glad you make like good picks, and unlike some of mine.
You made great picks. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, thank you. Well, we will see you guys next time. Follow us on Instagram, Literary Ladies Pod. Send us some DMs about what you're reading, what you want us to read, anything like that. We post funny memes all the time, so even if you just want to laugh at us, it's great.
Not laugh at us, laugh with us.
With us, right? With us. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.